Senator McCain's son has served in Iraq. As we move to national security, you just said goodbye to your son, who is off. He's going to serve in Iraq. But first, on the personal side, what did you say to him as he was leaving for Iraq, and what did he say to you?
Well, as a mom, you know, he's heading to Iraq, taking a fifth of my heart with him, you know, and I'm just so extremely proud of him. He's independent and he's strong and he's serving for the right reasons. I'm just as proud of every man and woman in uniform serving our country and trying to usher in democratic values to the rest of the world even, but protecting our freedoms. I'm very, very proud of these guys and these gals. They are America's finest, and I think that, you know, the Army is lucky to have my son. What my son said to me, though, was it was an awakening for me to realize that he knows what he's doing in this, and he knows that he has chosen the right reason to serve. I was just being mom to him just a few weeks ago. You know, no VP talk even then, but just as mom, I was probably getting on his nerves, asking him a whole lot of questions about the deployment and about he and his Stryker Brigade, what his job will be. And he's like, "Mom, I belong to the Army now. I belong to America." In other words, he was
said that
telling
to you.
He did. He was telling me, "Mom, just, you know, it's going to be okay, and I've chosen to do this." And you know, I'm like, man, thank God for this voluntary military that we have with America's finest. These young men and women, they just make me so proud.
Why do we need to win in Iraq? To just get right to the bottom line, why is losing not an option?
Losing is not a, retreat is not an option. Retreat is defeat in Iraq. Al-Qaeda, they're acknowledging even, along with General Petraeus, that Iraq is the central front on the war on terror. And the violent Islamic extremists who hate America would love that stronghold to be built in Iraq. If we were to lose there, we're not going to be any better off when we fight in Afghanistan either, nor the other areas where terrorist cells are growing across our world.
What countries today pose the most danger, in your view, to America?
Well, any country that's going to house the violent Islamic terrorists. We have to keep our eye, of course, on Iran. We have got to keep our eye on some of the ongoing activities in Russia, also North Korea, under the leadership of Kim Jong-il. Certainly there's a lot of concern there. What we have got to commit to also, especially when we talk about Russia, no Cold War. We have got to know that our mindset needs to be opportunity for pressure and diplomacy and sanctions if need be, as we keep our eye on a country like Russia.
You don't want to start a war with Russia,
We do not want to start a war with Russia. No Cold War. That's got to be off the table. And opportunity comes with new leadership being ushered in, being elected into our democracy, where we can start forging even better relationships and strengthening the allies that we have. That's the opportunity that John McCain is going to make sure happens.
What do you view, and I know this came up in your interview with Charlie Gibson, as it relates to the Bush Doctrine. What do you view as the Bush Doctrine, and what do you view as America's role in the world? What is our role as a country as it relates to national security?
That's a great question. And being an optimist, I see our role in the world as one of being a force for good, and one of being the leader of the world when it comes to the values that it seems that just humankind embraces, the values that encompass life and liberty and the pursuit of happiness. And that's just not just in America, that is in our world. And America is in a position, because we care for so many people, to be able to lead and to be able to have a strong diplomacy and a strong military also at the same time, to defend not only our freedoms, but to help these rising, smaller democratic countries that are just, you know, they're putting themselves on the map right now, and they're going to be looking to America as that leader. We being used as a force for good is how I see our country.
When you were first announced as Senator McCain's running mate, the Obama campaign put out a statement, and here's what it was. It said, "Today, Senator McCain put the former mayor of a town of 9,000 with zero foreign policy experience a heartbeat away from the presidency." Perhaps they forgot you got promoted, but How did that make you feel?
You know, it's motivating to me, Sean, because it's, okay, not only personally will I have opportunity to prove what the capabilities are here, but I so respected John McCain, his maverick streak in him there really being made manifest in choosing someone who has a track record of that commitment to reform, of being able to share the examples of the reform, the practices that have been implemented and have been good for the people whom I have been serving. I've been working for the people of Wasilla and Alaska, and in my job also in overseeing such a healthy portion of the U.S. domestic production of oil. Those things that I add to the ticket, certainly, you know, our opponents are going to ignore all that, and they're going to send their opposition researchers up to Alaska. They've got dozens of them up there now.
They called it a mini army in the Wall Street Journal.
Yeah, well, I hope.
Did you meet any of them? You were just up there. Did you see any of them?
I didn't see them, but I hear that they're all over the place, and I'm just hoping that they're going to spend a lot of money in our local communities and bolster the economy up
So you're
there.
hoping for the economy to benefit from all the media and the op research team of Barack Obama?
Yeah, the opposition research too. You know, we know how this works, and certainly that they're going to find a few of those who have those ruffled feathers up there, and you know, so be it. We're moving on, and we are focusing on the issues that are important to Americans in this election. It's the economy. It's winning the war. It's a strong education system for our students today, and a very healthy workforce that needs to have opportunity for jobs for our hardworking families in America. That's what the people of America are talking about.